Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give you guys an update with the new grad residency that I'm in. It has been since August that I've started. I think the last video that I left off, I told you guys about an incident that happened during change of shift where a patient had died as we were receiving report. No telling how long he was there. I think day shift said it was probably about an hour since they did their last round, and he was there, and when they were giving a report to us, he was non-responsive. They did a rapid response and he did not pull through and he died. So I think that was my last video. But for those of you who don't know, I'm in a new grad residency in California, Northern California, and I started in August, passed my NCLEX in June, and was hired on by a hospital 30 minutes away from me or so, and got hired on to and got into a new grad residency program, started in August. And thus far, throughout all the preceptors that I had multiple preceptors, and there are pros and cons of that, but I will get into that later. And then I was placed on my own. So as of today's video, it has been a little short of a month that I've been on my own, on the floor, on my own, on a med-surg floor. I'm approaching the 4th week, so next week will be my 4th week. I work 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts, and I am night shift. So today I will be going to work as my 3rd day, technically. And tonight I will be going to work. So after this video, I'm gonna just go to sleep. It's had its ups and downs, its downsides and its good sides. I'm dealing with a lot of shame at times because there are things that I run across that I don't know and that I wasn't exposed to when I was with my preceptors. And so just shame just comes over me like a flood. And that's mainly because I guess when I need help, it depends on who I ask to help me. I don't like to bug the charge nurse too much, but I will bug her. The preceptor that I had that I was so nervous to be with, he's on the night shift as well, and sometimes I'll ask him and he's not very helpful. He's like, the way he talks to me, it's kind of shaming, like, oh, you did that wrong. Yeah, I wouldn't do it that way. I would just disconnect everything. An example of that would be, I recently had a patient who had CPN, and I tried to do my due diligence and hang it myself, clamping all lines, but apparently I didn't hang it right, didn't put a filter on it. I was supposed to have 2 nurses co-signing, myself and another nurse that witnessed me hanging it, and she was supposed to sign off on it, or he was supposed to sign off on it, but as it turns out, I hung it wrong, and he was just very shaming in the way he was talking to me, like, oh yeah, you did it wrong. I would just unhook it all. Yeah, don't do that. And then turns to the patient and just says things like, hi ma'am, do you want your light on? How are you doing today? Oh, do you want your light on? Delilah, just remember to turn her light off, okay? And then just exits the room as if I don't know like the basic things to ask the patient. That's kind of how he talks to me. So that was a shaming situation, but depending on who I have as a resource there's another lady that was a preceptor, and she's very gentle with me and like very teacher-like. And so I ended up asking her, and she helped me through the whole process. And she was just very encouraging. So I have my shaming moments, and I have some moments where I just gain a tiny bit of confidence every time I'm on the floor by myself. I'm not sure that I'm doing everything right. I'm always second guessing myself at the end of the shift. Did I chart everything? And I'm pretty sure I didn't. That seems to be the general consensus among the new grads that I'm in this program with. We had an education day yesterday, and we all met up. We are just apprehensive about talking to the doctors. Some of us have gotten shunned by the doctors, told not to call them anymore, um, just attitudes. I've had an experience with one doctor. I tiger texted him. It's a texting system instead of calling them. I texted him about a patient, texted an update about them, and then shortly thereafter had a conversation with my charge nurse about if that was even the right, do I even contact the hospitalist about this patient, or do I contact the doctor that admitted this patient? And she said contact the doctor that admitted the patient. So I tiger texted that doctor back and let him know that, sorry, I'll contact Dr. So-and-so, just as a courtesy, because I didn't want there to be duplication of effort if he finally did see this message. And he calls me immediately, and then kind of tries to chew me out, tries to tell me, I have 20 patients or so, and I don't have time to read your messages, so it's rude of you to try to contact another doctor to try to shun me because I didn't read your message as quickly as you wanted me to. Don't do that. And I'm just sitting there listening to this grown-ass doctor who went to medical school just assuming that I did something to hurt him. And when he was done throwing his tantrum, I just said, so I didn't text you to do that to you. I texted you as a courtesy because I thought I was supposed to contact the other doctor. Silence on the other end. Then there's like, oh, okay, because we're all stressed out and blah, 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 and just a whole bunch of nonsense. And I just said, so for future reference, do you want me to contact you or this other doctor about this patient? Oh, you can contact me, because if you contact Dr. So-and-so, he'll be really mad at you. Like sort of like how you just did. But yeah, I'm apprehensive about contacting the doctors too, because some of them don't happen to understand that they're not the only ones that are busy. But aside from that, during our education day, we had a doctor come talk to us about COVID processes, because COVID is going up in the country right now, and also teach us like rapid response stimulation, code blue, all that. And then he goes on to tell us that if a doctor goes off on us, just kind of take it, and in so many words, he told us to take it and just be professional and just say, okay, doctor, I will bring your attention, I will bring that to the attention of my charge nurse. Thank you. And I don't understand it. I disagree with that, because we're all in stressful situations. And I understand at times you will lose it, but that doesn't excuse a person from the way that they're acting. Why is it that we need to act professional as nurses, but they don't? I didn't understand what he was trying to say. We should just take it. Yeah, that didn't sit well with me. But anyway, more about my experience. Been on the floor for 3 weeks now on my own. Came across CPN, hanging CPN, NG tubes. If there was a situation where I needed to put in an NG tube, I couldn't get it. 2 other nurses couldn't get it, and in addition to that, an ER nurse that we called up from ER to insert it, she couldn't get it. Now, after the second nurse, the patient was bleeding, and I just wanted to stop and let the doctor know that, we can't put it in. Is there another solution? But I feel like the more that you're in the nursing profession, the more you want to get the task done, and it's like, it's self-affirming to you that you can do the job. So I don't know what happened there, but they wanted to keep trying, and as they keep trying, the patient just keeps bleeding. I'm afraid we've punctured something, and I just didn't understand the mindset behind that. My charge nurse just wanted to keep trying and keep trying different nurses, and in the end we couldn't get it in anyway. But I just felt like if that was my family member, I would want you to stop after the first freaking try, if you see blood. But no one was listening to me. But I think that as we go along, we might become desensitized to that and kind of think about our own egos at times. I'm not sure if it's our own egos or what is best for the patient that we're thinking about, because that patient, if we didn't get the NG tube in, it wasn't going to be a detriment to her health. The doctor even told me, if you don't get it in, let me know. We'll postpone the surgery. And I told my charge nurse that, but still, here we were trying to get this NG tube in. So yeah, I experienced that on my own. Wound care, experienced a patient that was irritated at me because I didn't give her freaking pain med when she called me twice, and tried to give me the business when I went into her room and finally gave her pain med. And I was just like, first of all, she was trying to be passive and talk to me like, the CNA was in here. She was very nice. She came when I used my call light and she helped me to the bathroom. They all come when I ask for them. And, here I am calling for you twice for my pain med. And she told me she let you know, and yet you're here late. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. I was in another patient's room for about an hour trying to help him with his wound, but I'm here now giving you your pain med. And I really do appreciate the CNAs. They really do help us and do their job so well. Silence. Just silence. Oh man, I guess I'm being a bitch. I was silent. Like, I'm not gonna tell you anything, but if that's the way you feel, whatever. But it was just, it's eye-opening. I expect that people will act that way when they're in pain, but I watched this lady for 2 days, and not that I'm questioning her pain. She didn't need pain meds in that 2 days that I was with her, but the minute that she does, she expects me to be there in a jiffy. And it's amazing how they think that we're sitting on our butts, and that we don't have any other patients. But they are the most important when they are in pain, and I understand you can turn into a different person when you're in pain. But anyway, I experienced that, but mainly the shame is what I'm dealing with. I'm struggling with people pleasing, and also struggling with the fact that I feel like I don't know anything. I really don't. Right now, as a new grad, I feel like I'm more task oriented, like time management and getting my antibiotics hung, or getting these tasks done that I need for my patient. But the critical thinking for what is going on with my patient, I feel like is not there. That's what I feel like. Like, if I'm placed in a situation, I'm not going to know what to do. NCLEX questions are one thing because they give you options to choose from. But for me to come up with those options on my own, I feel like it would be a struggle at this point. And I just feel not confident at all. And I know that it is common, but it still doesn't help. And I've gone back and forth over the past few days, just feeling like I can't do this. All the information that has been thrown at me, I feel like I'm struggling. I feel like, granted, I've kept all my patients alive. I'm not sure that I've covered everything. I struggle with S-bar at the end of the shift. I feel like I'm all over the place. There have been a few days where I feel like I've been on point, but there's always been something that I forgot to look up and share with an oncoming shift. But they will be like minuscule things like a lab value or something like that. Something they can look up themselves, but still I like to cover everything, all my bases, and the S-bar, and I feel like I'm disorganized. But I'm trying my best to improve, but it's tough because I have negative self-talk a lot of the times. I feel like my assessment skills are horrible. Yeah. I just, at this point, feel so low. Like, I have considered, like, going and finding a different job or just something else. But I feel like there will always be people around me that will shame me or try to make me feel less than if I do that. Because people always need to feel always need to feel more superior than you. They'll try to find a reason to make me feel that way if I do that. And what I really need to stop doing is people pleasing. But anyway, I'm ranting and rambling in this video. That's just been my experience so far. And I hope that it does get better. I was finally able to pick my own schedule for December and January, so that feels good. I'll have more time with my family. And that's another thing. Working night shift, all I've been doing is sleeping, is what it feels like. I have the energy for nothing. And it just feels like I get home and I sleep. And it just feels like my days off are wasted. I feel like my sleeping schedule is crazy because I'll wake up at 2 in the morning just bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to just like run a mile, and my mind just doesn't shut off, so I just have to get up out of bed and go downstairs and watch TV, and then I'll go through the day, and then around 10 o'clock I'll crash whether I'm off or not. That's just like how it is. Everything's flipped. So that's basically how it's been. The paycheck is nice, don't get me wrong, but I question if it's worth the trouble, the shame that I feel, the not feeling like I'm competent enough, just not overall feeling happy. And I really hate the fact that people say give it 6 months to a year. Because it's like, why do I need to have that time to adjust? Why does it have to be that much time? Aside from that, education-wise, I have dropped the school that I was going. I dropped the school that I was going to, the RN to BSN program. It was a local state university, and I enrolled in Capella because my state university did not work with my schedule. If I missed a day, I got docked points, and that really brought me down because she had activities that you needed to be on Zoom in person for. She would break you out into these groups, and I just wasn't able to attend all the time because of my schedule. And even working nights, like I would work on a Tuesday night, and then I get home Wednesday morning and Zoom would be at 9, and you expect me to stay on there from 9 to 5. I'm sorry, I'm gonna be asleep. But that's basically what happened. So I broke away like in the beginning of October, withdrew, enrolled in Capella University because I was interested in their flex path. So I am currently in their RN to BSN program. Class starts on November 9th, but it opened up today. And so I'm currently working on my first paper and want to be on track to get my BSN in hand by at least the end of December. I like the flex path because there's just no fluff. Like I don't got time for group projects and stupid discussion boards. I really don't. Just give me what it is I need to do. I'll do it, and I'll complete the classes as I go along. And I like it. They're accredited, and we'll see how the program goes. I'll update you guys. I'm currently in my first course, submitted all my transcripts, and I don't have to take any extra courses, just the required 8 courses to get to my BSN. So hopefully I can breeze through those. Not that it will be easy writing these papers. I hate APA with a passion. So I'll be working on that simultaneously as I am doing night shift. So I will update you guys on how that goes. And hopefully I will have my BSN in hand by the end of December. Also, as far as my schedule goes, I will be working Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve night shift. So I'll be there ringing in the new year with patients and faculty, coworkers. So that sucks. That sucks a whole lot. But after that, I will have like a good 5 days off. So something to look forward to. I'm really done with this year. and looking forward to it being over and starting fresh, and hopefully not with us hitting all-time COVID highs. But anyway, so far with med-surg, I like the time management part. It keeps me busy. I have mastered it most days, and some days I haven't. These last 2 days that I was on, I had a lot of antibiotics for different patients to hang, and so I had a new brain sheet that helped me organize all that stuff, and it has worked wonders for me. So I'll share it with you guys during my next video. But yeah, I think that's it for now. But so far, med-surg is hard, but I'm getting the grasp of the task. I just wish I had more background knowledge, and I'll also work on that as well. And maybe that will come with experience, but as far as things are right now, I just feel really down in the dumps and like really down on my self-esteem and self-confidence, and I need to work on that as well. But I'll get there. But med-surg is one hard-ass unit. I could say that. And maybe it's not my thing. In fact, seeing some of the students that I was once in their shoes when they come on the floor, because we have students that come on certain days during the week for, of course, the day shift. When I see them, I get kind of teary-eyed, because that was me before. They're from the same school that I came from, and they'll be first semester or fourth semester, and I just remember those days of just being super anxious about walking up to your nurse and, you know, telling them that you're with them that day. And I don't know, maybe I'd want to go in the way of education to help students with their anxiety when it comes to nursing school, and to let them know that they can do it and motivate them and just give them resources to pass nursing school. So we'll see where this journey takes me. I do want to pursue a DNP, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be satisfied with my bachelor's. I'm sure there are people out there that will make me feel like I'm somehow missing out because I didn't go for further education, you know, just to make themselves feel good about being above me. But I don't know if it will faze me. But anyway, I hope this video was a good update for you guys. I've been trying to encourage myself little by little by writing notes on my phone and just self-talking to myself with those notes. So in case I just have one of those down days, I could just reflect on those notes or Bible scriptures, and hopefully that'll keep me motivated for this whole year that I gotta be here to get this experience. But anyway, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this update. I will see you in another video. Bye.